Let me show you how to do irrigation in your garden. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today, let me show you how to do drip irrigation in your garden. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button so I can see you here next time. I'm going to modify my irrigation and show you how to set up a new irrigation. I will link supplies in the description below. Watch until the end for a tour. So drip irrigation is very important for a number of reasons. It gets the water to the base of the plant and not to the foliage. Getting water on the foliage of a plant can be problematic. With tomatoes, for example, any splashes from the soil onto the leaves, that can bring disease, and that is true for many other things. The other thing is, if you're spraying, you're wasting so much of that water. This way, all of it is getting into the soil, to the roots, right where it is needed. So my current drip irrigation system, I've got these distribution lines coming from my hose. These distribution lines have these 1/4 inch irrigation tubing attached. Now this stuff is not as good in my opinion as the soaker hose porous variety. So that is what I'm changing today. And I only put 3 in, and I am trying to figure out why I did that last year. And I think I was just trying to be frugal, and I thought that these hoses were better suited for the application I was choosing than they really were. So now I'm going to upgrade it. I'm going to put 5 in, and you will see the process. So one of the best tools in this situation is a blowtorch. You can also use a lighter if you don't have a blowtorch. This is my kitchen blowtorch that I mostly use for creme brulee and things like that. But this is very useful in separating the tubing that is here from the little coupler attachment. And I could pull the coupler out, but then I run the risk of causing a leak from the distribution tubing. So I'm just going to soften it just enough that I can pull it out and then pop a new one on. It's really easy. So just use the blowtorch to gently soften the plastic. Just be careful to have a hose nearby, of course, and gently pull it off. So I have this soaker hose style 1/4 inch tubing, and I think it will be so much better in these beds. Plus I am upgrading to 5 instead of 3 just to really maximize the watering. And same as before, I will just use the blowtorch to soften the end, and then I'm able to easily slide it over top of the coupler. And I like to flush the lines before I put the end cap on. I've got these little goof plugs that you place at the end, and you just push them in. Again, if you want, you can use the blowtorch for this part because it just softens things up. And then I'm going to stretch it out to the full 12 feet of the bed and cut it off. And when starting new lines, take a fresh coupler, pierce the distribution tubing, and attach the 1/4 inch tubing. These landscape staples are great for holding the lines in place, as the tubing can tend to want to coil when it's new. One of the distribution tubes is too worn, so I'm going to replace it, and I will show you how you secure the end, and then after I will attach it to the rest of the system, and I will walk you through the whole thing when I'm done so you can see exactly how I have mine set up. So there's this black piece that we slide over the end, and it's got this little bumps, so you want those closest to the crimped side, which helps it not slide off and open up a little bit. So just slide it over, down further than you need, bend it, and then slide it up, and then you can see it is crimped and no water can come out of there. And this tubing is joined with an elbow, and there are also couplers available. All of the lines in this zone are complete now, and the bed is ready for planting, but before I do that, I'll cover the lines with some mulch, which helps even less water go to waste. So I have this 1/2 inch tubing coming up from the ground and in through a hole into the bed, and that is where the 1/2 inch drip tubing comes from. And underground I have put it underneath the gray stuff, as we call it, which is also called cart path chips, and it comes over here, and we have it up, and it just goes into a simple manifold which goes down to a hose that is attached to the wall over there. And I don't know why there's a Ziploc bag down there. That would be my kids. So I'm using the manifold because I don't have an automated timer. The one I tried last year, it didn't run the zones the way I wanted them to. I had 3 zones at the time and I didn't want them all running at once. We're on a well and our well could definitely not handle that. So I returned it and I'm just using the sort of analog method of just a manifold. So if you have any recommendations on a great timer, please comment below. Also comment below on the kind of irrigation you're using and any questions you have for me about my irrigation or anything else, and I'll do my best to answer you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.